Distract, distract, distract. Trump and his lackeys, they've been creating new crises every single day, every single week. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Look, like I say all the time, it's so important. Let's get there. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this stupidity, it's not stopping unless we make it stop. Now, this week, well, it's just the government shutdown, right? But we mustn't lose sight. We must not lose sight of the continuing issue regarding the Epstein crime files. And yesterday, Trump's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, well, he went on this podcast called Podforce One with the New York Post columnist Miranda Devine. Well, unfortunately for Trump, because Lutnick's not as smart as he thinks he is, let's just say that some secrets slipped out. And let me first show you legitimately how close Lutnick and Epstein's houses are to one another. Here's the photo. Okay, you see that? Number 9 and number 11. Literally next door to one another. Now, doesn't mean anything. They just happen to be next door neighbors. Now, I do want to show you the first clip of Lutnick explaining for the first time that he went to Epstein's house. Play the clip.
He invites us in. We have coffee in this, and he says, "Do you want a tour?" We said, "Great."
Interesting.
He's got a really big house.
Every room you went into?
He's got, well, I'll tell you. So his house is like super big, really wide. And so he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the doors and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, "Massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage?" And he says, "Every day." And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, "And the right kind of massage."
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, "I'm sorry, we have to go." And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Sure, Howard. Whatever you say. Absolutely. Now, mind you, the next clip that I want to show you is Lutnick explaining that Epstein was the greatest blackmailer ever. Miranda then goes on and also asks Lutnick if Trump knows about these stories as well. Play the clip.
I mean, that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. He's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnick. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmailed people. That's how he had money. So
what happened to those videos? Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
And have you talked to Donald Trump about this and shared your theory?
No, I mean, he knows the story.
Right.
But my story, that I was one and done with the guy. He knows that story, but that's it.
Yeah, look, like I said, there may have been a trade in order for Epstein to get that sweetheart plea deal. And while I want to be clear, that does not mean that Trump is in any of those videos. There's no doubt, and I think it's inarguable, that Trump is protecting someone. There's definitely a reason why he is not releasing those files. And here's a little warning to Howard. Be careful when you go on these podcasts. Be careful what you say. The last thing that you want is people coming out and talking about you. Meanwhile, yesterday, a new Wall Street Journal article came out as well, all at the same time, outlining Epstein's financial dealings according to documents that were provided to the Wall Street Journal. Now, I want to go through some of the article with you because it's extremely, extremely important and relevant. Let me start with the beginning. In it, it turns out and says the Wall Street firms that kept ties with Jeffrey Epstein until the end. And it goes on to say from TD Bank to Honeycomb Partners, several hedge funds and banks were linked to the wealthy sex offender. Goes on to say Epstein's banking and investment activities in the years before his 2019 death were more widespread than previously known, including accounts at several banks as well as large transactions with well-known hedge funds. This is according to documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal and people familiar with the matter. Further, it goes on to say the documents reviewed by the journal show that in the years before he died, Epstein moved at least $16 million into Honeycomb Partners, an investment fund, received $13.5 million from a hedge fund run by Paul Tudor Jones, and sold $15 million worth of private company shares to crypto investor Blockchain Capital. Further, it says the documents reviewed by the journal show that Epstein transferred at least $16 million to Honeycomb Partners between 2016 and 2019, including $20 million in March of 2019. The firm is run by David Fizzle, who was a star portfolio manager at Steve Cohen's Point72 hedge fund before he left in 2015. Fizzle recently told clients that he was returning their money, saying he saw fewer investment opportunities. Sure. Meanwhile, the documents also show Epstein transferred about $38 million into Boothbay funds between 2014 and 2017 and received about $10 million in January 2017 from one of them. Boothbay was founded in 2011 and is run by investor Ari Glass. A spokesman for Boothbay said the fund had no relationship with Epstein beyond his limited partner interest, and upon his 2019 arrest, subjected him to a compulsory redemption. And finally, the documents also confirm some of Epstein's transactions that have been previously reported with well-known associates, including tens of millions of dollars in transfers from private equity billionaire Leon Black, one of Epstein's financial clients. More than $20 million that Epstein invested in Valar Ventures, a VC firm anchored by tech billionaire Peter Thiel, you know that name, and $25 million that Epstein received from the Rothschild banking family. We're not talking about small players here. You're talking about the heavyweight of heavyweights. And finally, I want to end on a few clips from Congress. It's really important. The government, as we all know, is shut down. And because it's shut down, well, no Epstein vote will be taking place, despite Democrats finally now having enough votes to pass the discharge petition. But regardless of the fact that the Democrats now have that vote, MAGA Mike Johnson, what does he do? He's got to stop it, right? So he's refusing to swear in Arizona's new congresswoman. Well, here she is on Capitol Hill on Monday discussing it. Play the clip.
It is day 2 here in DC. Look at me. I'm surrounded by all of these beautiful structures, these beautiful people, all here to work. And am I sworn in yet? No. Do I know when I'm going to get sworn in? No. Speaker Johnson has left the building, and unfortunately what that means for us is Southern Arizona does not have a voice here to advocate for you. You also don't have services in district. I need to get sworn in order for that to happen. Every day that I am here without being sworn in, Southern Arizona loses. Reach out to Speaker Johnson. Let him know that I need to get sworn in.
Absolutely reach out to him. You know, when you're Speaker of the House, you're not Speaker of the Republican House. You are Speaker of the entire House. The fact that he's refusing to do his job, I'll tell you what I would do. I would actually grab a couple of Republicans that are on your side, and I would let Speaker Johnson know that unless you swear her in, unless you do your friggin' job, the next vote that we're going to do after that swear-in is remove you as Speaker of the House. Let's see how fast this coward ends up acting then. Now, Representative Jamie Raskin, he called out how it's not lost on anyone that shutting down the government prevents any movement regarding the Epstein files. Play the clip.
Year started, and it also is not lost on anyone that shutting the government down allows them not to swear in our new colleague, Ms. Grijalva from Arizona, who would be the 218th signature to discharge the Epstein files and to put a vote on that on the House floor. So it's convenient for them to shut the government down, and they're not interested in making government work for our constituents.
I mean, how stupid is MAGA Mike Johnson? Are you going to, let's say, not swear her in at all, not reopen government, not reopen the House? The very second that they end up all coming back, do you not realize that this discharge petition has to be signed? And again, if not, they should remove him as Speaker. And finally, Congressman Raskin also spoke to reporters outside, saying that when the government reopens, just what I'm saying right now, Democrats will continue to fight. It's not just Democrats. It's Democrats and several, if not more than several, many Republicans want the release of the Epstein crime files. Play that clip.
And we demand complete accountability. We ask for nothing there more than Donald Trump asked for, than Kash Patel asked for, than Pam Bondi asked for. They all said they wanted them released. Then they had 1,000 FBI agents working around the clock. And guess what they saw? Donald Trump's name apparently all over the files. And they came back and said, nothing to see here. We're going to sweep it under the rug. Call off the talking points, everybody. Now we want to cover up the Epstein files. We're not going to allow them to do that. When we get back to work, we're going to reopen the government. We are going to resume health care for the American people, and we're going to release the Epstein files.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You could delay it, can't delay it indefinitely. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.